Isn't that Husna? Hey Husna, what are you doing?
Oh, nothing. Just reading a book.
Oh, okay. Hey, wanna have a taste? It's your favorite flavor.
Oh, I would love to, but no thanks. It's Ramadan and I'm fasting. Sorry, dear.
Fasting? What is fasting anyway? I knew that there is a month where Muslims are obliged to not eat and drink from dawn to dusk.
Yes, there is.
But that sounds really tough. I don't think I can live with not eating for more than 6 hours.
Well, fasting isn't all that there is to it. Right before dawn, we are encouraged to eat and drink. It's called sahur. We are encouraged to eat as much as we can at the last minute, right before prayer calls for subuh are heard. And right when we hear the prayer calls for maghrib, it's time to break our fast. And we are encouraged to eat as soon as we are able to. These two are what makes fasting not so bad.
But what about the Muslims that live in the northern side of Earth? On summers, a day lasts for about 20 hours or even more. Do they fast for 20 hours?
If I'm not mistaken, that's the place in Iceland where daytime lasts for 24 hours. Instead, they start and break their fast by following the time zone of the nearest country, which is the UK. In 2007, a Malaysian astronaut Sheikh Muzaffar Shukr were in outer space when Ramadan falls. The Malaysia Department of Islamic Development and its National Fatwa Council put their best minds together and came up with a booklet called Guidelines for Performing Islamic Rites at the International Space Station. For him, he was given two options to perform his fasting: to postpone his fasting until he returns to the earth, or follow the sunrise and sunset times of Baikonur, Kazakhstan, where he was launched into space.
How interesting. So you just fast every day for a whole month?
Well, not really, but there is much more to Ramadan than just fasting. Ramadan is a month where Muslims all over the world try to improve themselves by doing good deeds and lay off as much of the bad habits, either in our speech, mind, and attitude. We also made it our mission to maintain everything that we've improved on even after Ramadan ends. But then again, it all depends on the individual.
So fasting is a more of a spiritual thing then. Is there anything you can do to add up to that?
There's a lot, especially in the month of Ramadan. For instance, Muslims are encouraged to read the Holy Quran a lot more and finish it before the month ends, to do Taraweeh prayer every night, bring zakat, charity to the poor, and spending time with family and friends. Even the simplest thing can be very rewarding, like reading a good book or breaking fast with other people.
That's a lot. Say, it must be very tiring. How can you prevent being lazy due to the empty stomach?
Well, I've got some tips from productivemuslim.com, and although I've yet to apply this to my daily life, I think it's worth sharing. Some of them are: plan your day the night before. Never miss sahur, because just like breakfast, it's very important. Yum! Start working on the most important task right after Fajr and get at least one or two done. In other words, don't sleep after Subuh, as tiring as it might be. Qailula, or an afternoon nap, not more than 20 minutes. Reserve at least 1 hour for reciting Quran every day. Of course, there are perks for Muslims that live in an Islamic country. For example, in Malaysia, school and work hours are cut short so that they could go home early and prepare for Maghrib.
I see. Is fasting mandatory for everyone?
Every Muslims who've reached puberty are obliged to fast.
What if they fall sick?
There's exceptions, of course. The travelers, the ills, and women on their period are able to postpone it until they are capable.
I've seen children fasting before. Isn't that a little harsh? They're kids.
It is not compulsory for children who have yet to reach puberty, but they are encouraged to try it if they want and if they are strong enough. Some families will reward their children if they successfully complete their fasting. In my family, for example, the children will be rewarded with money for each day that they manage to complete their fasting.
On the side note though, why do Muslims get so pumped up when Ramadan is coming? Like you guys already remember this month 3 months prior. And there's this even bigger celebration for it in East Asia.
Once, Abu Hurairah reported that the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Whoever observes fast during the month of Ramadan out of sincere faith and hoping to attain Allah's rewards, then all his past sins will be forgiven." Us Muslims believe that no man can escape from committing sins, excluding the Prophet, of course. But Ramadan is a great chance for us to redeem ourselves and for our sins to be forgiven. Secondly, this month is a month where all good deeds are multiplied 10 to 700 times, like I said earlier. And now do you see that there's no other chance like this? So that's why us Muslims are very excited when Ramadan is near.
And now I understand why. Thank you, Husna. I always pray that with this Ramadan, you are able to reach your goals.
Thanks, Susan. Hey, let's go to the seafood restaurant. Somehow, I'm craving for the seafoods to break my fast, and it's my treat. Let's go.